Hi, welcome to this pick a card reading. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, and if you're returning, thanks for watching again. So today we're going to be learning what your person thinks about you. I've picked 3 emotional oracle cards here, just so that we get a sense of exactly how they feel about you. I want you to pick the one that resonates with you most, and I'll give you some time to do that, and then we'll get into the readings. So if you picked pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to pull 1 card for you and 1 card for your person, and then we'll pull a few cards in between as well, and some oracle cards to get a sense of what your person thinks about you. So let's get started. Alright, so for you, I have the 9 of Cups here. And then for your person, I have the Death card here. Alright, so just at first glance, I'm getting a sense that you're probably a water sign and they're probably an air or a fire sign. I'm getting a sense that in terms of what they think of you, you see them as like the perfect, your perfect match, kind of like the total package, if that makes sense. But then how they see you is like you represent like an end to a cycle. I think that for them, relationships before this were kind of, a bit confusing, or crushes were a bit confusing, or, had a bad effect on them in their life. But I think that they see you as kind of like a new leaf in terms of their romantic life. I think they see you as a new beginning, kind of like end to a cycle, like I said, and as someone who really like kind of like, a light on the horizon for like a really good and successful romantic life. I think they see you as someone they really can see having a new start with and building with. So we're going to pull a few cards in between just to get a sense of that kind of like journey of what they think about you. Alright, so I have the High Priestess in reverse. Ten of Wands. And we'll pull 1 more. And then the 10 of Coins. Oh, that's a really good one. Okay. So, like I said, I think you see them as kind of like this manifestation of your perfect partner. And I think they see you as the end to this really bad cycle. When I look at this, thinking of, where they were coming from and to where they are now in terms of how they think about you, I think at first, we have the High Priestess in reverse here. That's a typically really maternal card. Something like, I think it's also resonating with you being a water sign here, because this is typically, the card representing Pisces and water signs. But I think that this kind of represents that they felt like in their past relationships, they weren't really following their intuition. They felt like they were just being with people for the sake of being with them, and it wasn't really working out. And we move here to the 10 of Wands. And that's really showing this in action. I think at first, to be honest, I think they saw this connection they had with you as kind of a burden. They were scared that it was going to turn out like their past relationships before, and were a bit worried that if they start something new, who's to say that it's not going to turn out the way it did before. But then we move to the 10 of Coins here, and I think that the more they got to know you, the more they really found themselves, building with you. And like I said, they kind of see this whole thing, them being the Death card, they see this whole thing as kind of a manifestation of their idea of, a really stable relationship, someone they can build with, someone they can even build a family with. I think they got to know you more, and they are really seeing your future as being long-term. I think at the start, like when we look at these cards here, all their past relationships were not long-term as they expected. They were getting involved in a lot of, different things with different people and dating around, and nothing was really working out. It was, like I said, I think love to them and like romance felt burdensome. It felt like it was work, and it felt like it wasn't even worth it. And then you kind of came into their life and changed that completely. You're the end to this cycle, and you're the beginning to this new, look on love and life that they have. And this 10 of Coins really shows that you guys are really going to work well together. I think that they see you as someone they can build this like strong partnership with, and they want to explore where that goes and explore, how that feels, considering their past relationships were not, working out and were not on that path. But they really do see you as someone they can, lean on, rely on, but also someone who's practical and reliable and, will change their outlook on love. I'm going to pull a oracle card here just to get a sense of an emotional overview of how they feel about you and what kind of emotions guide their connection with you. So I got family. Like I said, look, with this 10 of coins and then family, they see you as someone they're building a really strong connection with, and it's unlike any other connection they've had before. They want to build a family with you. They want something long-term. They want something stable, and this is just not like a typical, crush or, passing by kind of dating experience. This is something they want to last, and they really do see you as someone they can do that with. I think that you, like I said, for you, they are all of your wishes personified. You wanted someone stable, you want someone committed, and they want to do that as well. You guys are both supplementing your own dreams in terms of romance, and you're ending a cycle for them, and it's going to be really great for both of you. I'm going to pull a Messages of Love oracle card here, just to get another definitive sense of what they think about you. Let's see what comes out here. Wow, this is a really good sign. Fate. This is a destined partnership. See, I think that this journey that they had with the High Priestess in reverse and then the 10 of Wands, their past relationships were just not good for them. They were losing faith in love. They were kind of considering not dating at all. And then you came into their life and it felt like you completely changed their outlook, and it's definitely destined. And I think key word here is partnership. They want to build a family with you, as we saw here, and with the 10 of coins. They see you as someone long-term and someone that they don't want to lose, and I think they're willing to put their all in it so they can have this new beginning as represented in their card here. So this is a really good reading. Thanks for watching. Alright, if you chose pile 2, welcome to your reading. So today I'll be picking one card to represent you, one card to represent your person, a few cards in between, and some oracle cards as well, just to get a sense of what your person thinks about you. So let's get started. Alright, for you I have Justice. And let's pick a card here for your person. And for them I have the Queen of Cups. Alright, so first glance here, it looks like you're probably a Libra or an air sign, and they're most likely a water sign. It looks like here your relationship is kind of that of, if you've ever seen like Tom and Jerry or something like that, you're probably the more, stoic and cold one, and they're really warm. You're like the moon to their sun is kind of how I'm seeing this. It seems like they kind of view you as someone they kind of want to mother or kind of push onto their maternal sense with, and you want someone who's going to kind of, allow you to express your emotions in a way that you haven't in relationships before. I think that for them, they see you as someone they really want to take care of. There's this instinct within them where it's like, I want to be around this person because I think they need someone to open up with, and you feel that way too. I think you feel like this is a really equal relationship, kind of one that you haven't had before, where you both are able to share your emotions equally. It's not like someone's just dumping on you or vice versa, and it's kind of a mutual understanding that, sometimes I want to share my emotions and sometimes I don't, and they're perfectly okay with that. They want you to feel comfortable around them, emotionally vulnerable around them, and they view you as someone that they can have really deep conversations with. I'm getting a sense that when you talk to them over the phone or meet with them for dates or, even just texting, you guys can talk for hours. I think this person has the intention of, letting you be yourself and allowing you to express yourself emotionally in a way that you weren't able to before. And they really want to harness that with you. They want someone who's also okay with them being super emotional. They are inherently emotional people. They're constantly introspective and thinking with their intuition. And I think that in their past relationships, that wasn't nurtured as much. They really want to nurture that emotional connection between you both and see this as something, and they see this as something that they really feel like, you're their confidant and vice versa. So let's pull a few cards in between here to get a sense of their journey of what they think about you. Alright, so first I have the 5 of coins in reverse. Then I have the 6 of wands. And we'll pull one more. Then I have the Five of Cups in reverse. All right, so like I said, it's really interesting here that we have the Five of Cups right next to their Queen of Cups. I think they're a very emotional person. But if we get a sense here, starting from the beginning, here the Five of Coins in reverse, typically this card would mean, you know, a relationship that's really lacking. It's kind of like on the verge or on the brink of, you know, ending. But I think that when they first met you, you were kind of cold, like I said, and I think that they were a little bit intimidated by that. But they really saw this, they saw something in you that they wanted to nurture. So I think this represents, I'm getting a sense that this represents, you know, a budding relationship. This was an unlikely pairing, I think, you two. People never expected that you two would get together or, you know, be interested in one another because your outside demeanors are quite different. But I think that this represents that there's something, you know, budding here in the beginning, and they were, like, really intrigued by you. Then we have the Six of Wands here, victory and progress. I'm seeing this as, you know, kind of a success in them getting you to open up. Like I said, there's someone who really wants to nurture you, allow you to be emotionally vulnerable. And I think that likely in the midpoint of your guys' connection, they were able to get you to open up in a way that you haven't opened up with anyone else before. And they felt like that was a really big success and hallmark of, you know, long-term success with you. I think that their major goal in talking to you and, like, being with you, like I said, is being able to be, you know, that confidant, that person that you can always go to, because you're not a typically, you know, emotional person. On, you know, face value, when other people know you, you're just pretty, you know, serious. You take life, you know, in a pretty practical way. Not to say that you're not, like, joking or fun or anything like that, but it really just means that you keep your emotions to yourself. You're someone who, you know, works hard and plays hard, but you're not typically, you know, confiding in people. But they found it to be a really big success that they were able to get you to open up to them, and you guys are just really starting to grow this really vulnerable and intimate relationship with one another. Then we have the Five of Cups here. Typically this would be a pretty, you know, negative card, but it's in reverse. I think that this is representing your change and your shift in this relationship. They started to see a complete shift in your, you know, approach to emotions and communicating with one another. And I think that, you know, has really been a success with your relationship and deepened your connection. I think that this is representative of those deep talks that you've had with one another, either via text or over the phone or anything like that. But I kind of see this figure as you, and it's like they turned you around. They completely changed your demeanor. Typically, you would be pretty pessimistic when it comes to relationships and love. You're not someone who has typically, you know, confided in others when you're in a relationship. But they really got you to open up and change that. And I think that you are starting to see love in a more optimistic light because of this person. So I'm going to pull an emotional overview kind of card from this Oracle deck just to get a sense of how they view you. That could be summed up in one word. So let's take a look here. So I got freedom here. So yeah, like I said, I think it's you finding the freedom to be emotionally vulnerable and them nurturing that within you. They see you as someone that they kind of like opened up and allowed to, you know, express yourself as you should. I think that in your past relationships and your past connections, you weren't really able to do that, but this person really has opened you up in a way that hasn't happened before. And they view you as someone that they kind of like set free from that notion that you can't be super emotional, which is really interesting that I got this freedom card here because, like I said, I think that they wanted to, you know, allow you to dig deep and find your own intuition and, you know, find empathy with others, and they're really empathetic to you. I'm going to pull Messages of Love Oracle card just to get a more definitive sense of how they feel about you. Let's take a look here. Interesting. So I got obstacles, unhealed wounds, or blocking forward movement. Like I said, I think this represents, you know, both of these cards in reverse represent who you were before this connection. I think that before this connection, you found that in relationships, you were not able to be emotionally vulnerable. You were not able to be open. You were finding difficulty, you know, in being yourself and expressing yourself. But they really opened you up and kind of healed those wounds. Like here it says unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. They recognized where you were kind of hurt in your past relationships, when you couldn't express yourself, and they were able to open you up in that way. So I think this is a very good connection. This person is allowing you to, you know, express yourself in a way that you haven't before, And you should be really grateful for that. It seems like they're really empathetic to you, and they really appreciate, your presence. You bring them down to the ground, and they allow you to quite the opposite, see things in a more emotional and kind of fantastical light. And I think that's really interesting. You guys are, opposites on face value, but I think that together, you guys are really creating something really beautiful. Thanks for watching. Hi there, if you picked pile 3, welcome to your reading. So today I'm going to pick a card that represents you, one that represents your person, and a few in between that'll represent what they're thinking about you. We'll also pull some oracle cards as well, just to get a more definitive sense of how they think about you. So let's get started. Alright, so for you I have the Ten of Swords here. And then for them I have the Knight of Wands. So I think this is really interesting. On first glance, I'm getting a sense you're probably an air sign. They're probably, a fire sign. I think that they bring out in you this kind of like, I'm seeing them representing adventure and passion, and then you, betrayal and suffering. I think that they bring out in you this new, outlook on life. They kind of see you as someone that, I'm getting a sense that you guys have known each other for a while, and they've seen the way relationships have, taken you down in the past. And they want to, reignite that, that excitement that you have for life and love again. And I think that, if I'm looking at this from first glance, I think there's someone, you've probably taken a few trips with them, you try new things with them, new foods, new places, you go to concerts together, that you're constantly going out on outings, and they see you as someone as, they really want to take care of you. They understand how you've been hurt and how you've been betrayed in your past experiences. And like I said, I think there's someone, has been around for a while and has been able to see you go through that. This is likely a friend that, you started to gain interest in one another and it wasn't really expected, but it really has flourished in this way because you have similar interests and you want to do same things around the town or the city that you live in, and they're constantly your partner in crime. I think that they see you as someone they want to take care of, and you've become partners in crimes with one another. If there's, a farmer's market or an outing that you really see, or, that you really have seen advertised, or I don't know, an event that you really want to go to, they're the first person that you kind of hit up for that, and they are always down to do something with you. I'm going to pull some cards in between here just to get a sense of the journey that they've had in thinking about you. So this first one I have the Queen of Coins. The second one, I have the Six of Swords. And then this last one, I have the King of Coins. Alright, so it's really interesting as well that we have a lot of swords and coins here. I think the coins really represent that this connection is very stable. They see you as someone that they can always find fun with, that they can always rely on, which is really interesting. So starting from the beginning here, I have the Queen of Coins. Like I said, there's someone who really wants to nurture you. I think this is based in the fact that you guys have known each other for a while. They've always had this, kind of close connection with you, whether you were in a friend group and they were probably the person that, if there was a funny joke, you probably looked at each other first, that kind of thing. They're always looking out for you, always checking up on you, always checking in with you, and they always just want to make sure you're okay. Like I said, they know exactly what you've been through. With this Ten of Swords here, they know exactly what you've been through, and they want to make sure that they can avoid that with with the time that you guys have with each other. Then we have the Six of Swords here. Like I said, together, you guys are very adventurous. You're constantly going out on outings, going on interesting dates. They're kind of the person who would suggest, you guys would go rock climbing, and you've never done that before, but you're why not? You're constantly taking a chance with this person, and I think that even this connection as a whole was you taking a chance. I think this was a friend that you've had for a while, and you were kind of worried, if we get involved, will this ruin the friendship? But that was a chance and a leap of faith in itself, and it's really worked out for the better. You guys really enjoy traveling with one another, trying new things, trying new foods, going to new places, and it's really reignited your excitement for life, and that was their goal. They wanted to allow you to find more happiness after a time where they saw you in this really dark period. Then I have the King of Coins here, leadership and abundance. I'm seeing this more from the angle of abundance. I think that together, you guys are able to, build things in a sense that it's a really strong connection, but also something that can last. When I think of abundance in terms of love, it's like you're building this kind of like, bank where it's like you're building and building and building, and it'll never run dry, that kind of thing. I think that with you guys, you never not have fun with one another. You're constantly having fun with one another, and it just never gets boring. It never gets boring with you two, and they make sure of that, and you have like found this new outlook on life that they are able to, really harness and nurture within you. I'm going to pull an oracle card here just to get a more kind of emotional overview sense of how they view you. Let's take a look here. Alright, so I have the healing card here. Like I said, they recognize that you're healing from something that was very bad. You're healing from this relationship where you were going through a dark period. You saw it, your friends saw it. They saw that this person was not good for you, and they were there, like first-hand account. They were there in that friend group seeing you go through that, and their goal in this relationship, in this connection, is to heal. They want to heal you from those past relationships and those past experiences and kind of nurture this new, take on love within you, and it's really been working. Like I said, you guys have this connection that's built on a solid foundation. You guys have known each other for a while, and they really just want to take care of you, like in the sense that a friend would even. I think that you guys being friends first has really built this really great connection between both of you and ensured that they do care for you, like not in just a material sense or not in a manipulative sense, but, really from their heart and from your guys' experiences with one another. I'm going to pull a Messages of Love oracle card as well, just to get a sense, a more definitive sense of what they think about you. Let's take a look. Spiritual lesson. This person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. Like I said, I think that because you guys have bonded in this way before you were even in a relationship, and they saw you go through those past experiences, they are here to teach you about the ways that, like, love can be exciting. Relationships can be really exciting. And them taking you on adventures, on new dates, on interesting dates, making the time and taking the time out of their day and their week to be able to bring you to new things and, have fun with you. And it's like constant fun. Like whenever you leave a date with them or hang out with them, you're always thinking like, when can I see them next? When can I see them next? And they're here to teach you that lesson. They're here to teach you that, relationships and love don't always have to be this negative experience, and that there can be someone who both fulfills you, emotionally and mentally, but also in a sense where you guys are relating on this level of like just having constant fun. Like this whole reading, I've been getting a sense that you guys just have created this new passion passion within one another that you didn't think that was possible. Like, you've seen in movies and TV these relationships where, they do really exciting things with one another, and you just thought, well, that's not for me. I've never experienced that. But they're here to teach you that it is possible. And I think it's also because they saw what you went through and you guys have known each other for a while. I think that aspect is really important. The fact that you guys have built this relationship off an already existing one is just making this a lot more powerful. So thanks for watching.